Let's talk about meal times because sometimes parents will come to me and say, "Man, my child isn't eating right, and meal times are a disaster because of the diet kinds of things we're trying to do." Other times, parents find that their children are disruptive or just wild at meal times, and so it just makes the mealtime hard. We have to realize that meal times are such a great opportunity. We're going to work on this to make meal times a special time in family life. First of all, I want to encourage you as parents to think about reducing the emphasis on diet and on manners with children. I think children do need to have a good diet, but sometimes we are forcing them to eat a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and it just puts this tension over the meals if we're doing that continually. Maybe in the diet kinds of things, we need to offer healthy choices, and we need to have 3 snacks a day and 3 meals, and all of them have healthy choices. So if a child doesn't eat all of the vegetables that we want them to eat at the mealtime, they're still going to have vegetables as a snack that they have. So the point is, the mealtime is a strategic place for relationship building. And if you spend too much time working on diet and force feeding kids, it just doesn't work that well. The other thing is the whole thing about manners and correcting children at the table. Yes, children often who are disruptive need to be challenged in that area. And maybe we need to say to Billy, why don't you go sit in the hall for a minute before the meal and think about how you're going to bring something to the meal that's constructive. Maybe tell a joke or tell a story or ask a question instead of being wild. So in that way, we're preparing children to come to the table to contribute to what this mealtime is going to be about. After all, when we get to heaven, we're going to have this great meal together. I appreciate what it says in Revelation 19:19. Then the angel said to me, "Write this, blessed are those who are invited to the wedding supper of the Lamb." And you can bet at that meal, we're going to do a lot of talking. We're not just going to do a lot of eating. We're going to enjoy this time of celebration and this time to interact with all these people that over the ages that have come to Christ and just know God personally, and we're going to get to know them. It's going to be great. It's all about relationship. I'd encourage you to use meal times as a relationship building exercise. And some parents, they don't even have a meal together, and I would encourage you to build that habit, because the meal time's a powerful time. Turn off the electronics. In some cases, everybody needs to park their cell phones at the door before you come to the meal. Because at the meal, you want to do several things. One is you want to talk about the day, because as we talk about the day, we often learn things about each other and we grow closer together. Also, we teach children how to listen so they can learn to listen and not just talk. So by teaching children to ask questions and then ask follow-up questions, they can learn to create good dialogue around the table. It's very valuable. And also we can tell jokes and we reveal things about ourselves. We can talk about our highlight and our low light for the day. We can talk about something interesting that took place in our day. All of that is relationship building material. And it's very helpful as children are trying to they're spending time at a meal, and they don't realize it. Children often think that when I'm done eating, I can leave the table. And I think sometimes we say, no, you can't leave the table, because it isn't just about eating. Some children say, I'm not hungry, I don't want to come to the table. That's not a good excuse. We say everybody comes to the table because the mealtime is about relationship building. So use relationship building as your primary goal in the mealtime. And yes, you might have a child who's disruptive. You might have to send them away and say, okay, look, you're not doing well here at the meal. Go sit in the hall, change the way you're acting, and come back into the meal with a more constructive way of thinking and not complaining and criticizing. Then you can rejoin us, because the meal's about relationship. So focus on the relationship piece. It'll add tremendous amounts to the mealtime, and de-emphasize diet and manners. Teach those at other times, but the meal is a valuable time to build relationship with children.